You're about to witness one of the most embarrassing police body cam videos that exist on YouTube, and we're about to see this officer interview / humiliate, whether he wanted to or not, this creep that was prowling around his college campus and displaying something of his that nobody ever wanted to see. If that's not bad enough, this is far from being his first time that police are talking to him about an act like this, and even worse off, his excuses are so bullshit. Before we get into it, shout out to the Bodycam Zone for sourcing this original bodycam footage. If you want to see the full interrogation and footage, go ahead and check out their video link below. But let's get right on into it and just see what this creep was caught doing.
When I sat down, he was like kind of looking at me, but I just was like, whatever. And then I was just studying and he walked away. And then when he walked back, he was walking towards me like he had his out.
Okay.
And then he sat down. I was like, dude, really? And I walked away. And I feel like it's a no big deal thing, but it's kind of like shaking me up a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So we're starting off with the witness account here who actually saw this guy's meet. And clearly she's very shaken up by this, as would anybody. That's a horrendous thing to go through. And this dude is going to be making up excuses as to why it happened, because in his mind, he thinks there's a way of talking himself out of this, when clearly he was trying to display something to this girl. It freaked her out, and that's why he's about to be getting questioned by cops. So let's meet this culprit, shall we?
You said there's a chance that you might have come out of the bathroom without pulling your pants completely up, or
like taking a piss, you know. I have ADHD, so my mind wanders a lot.
Okay.
I know it's happened a lot at home.
Okay.
In which I'll like go to the bathroom and then 20 minutes later I'm like, I feel breeze. You know.
Oh, geez. So, yeah, this dude's already, like, he just got sat down with this officer, and he's given us excuses. The number one excuse being his ADHD, which I'm sure there's many of you out there that have ADHD. I got diagnosed later in my life a few years ago, and I don't know about y'all, but, yeah, I forget a lot of things, sure, but I never forget to pull up my pants. And even if I did, the sensation of me having my pants around my ankles still as I begin to walk would clue me into the fact that my f***ing pants aren't on. You know what I mean? So this guy running with that already is pissing me off, because that just makes everybody with ADHD look marginally worse to the type of people out there who are watching that dude on TV going, ADHD people will never have jobs. It's like, dude, yeah, you're reinforcing every boomer's Facebook feed out there by telling the world that the ADHD caused this, bro, which could not be further from the truth. You're just a fucking creep.
I was driving home at like, I want to say 4 hours later. I realized I never pulled my pants were up, but not my underwear. I'd been sitting through 2 classes and I drive 45 minutes drive home, but underwear pulled underneath my. So.
Is this the reason why we've had a similar report of this? Do you know when the other report was?
And then he tells a story that he went 4 hours or something with his pants down, but his underwear, honestly, I don't know what he's trying to say. It sounded like he said his underwear was still down, but his pants were up. So he didn't realize that he was walking around with his underwear by his ankles for 4 hours. And of course, that's supposed to be the magic get out of jail free card here. I don't know how dumb this guy thinks this cop is, but he's gonna need to multiply that by at least tenfold, because you'd have to be a fucking moron to believe a word this guy is saying.
Last week, there was a similar report of something where they said someone matching your description.
What day would this have been?
I could not tell you.
Friday's the only day that I'm here for like hours, because I've had such a big gap between. So if there was another report that could have possibly been,
Oh, okay. So yeah, he's actually just telling us this BS story to cover up the fact that this is the second time in a month. I think he said last week he got caught for a very similar thing. So how are you going to be talking your way out of this one, huh? When it's becoming a routine thing. If that happened to you once because of your quote ADHD, which again is not possible for somebody to overlook such a big thing about their moving body when they're out in public, you'd feel the breeze on them. You know what I mean? Like, dude, there's no way you could have forgotten this once. But let's just say that was a thing. If that did happen, you know damn well the number one thing on your mind would be to check your pants every time you go to the bathroom. You would never make that mistake again, let alone a week later.
I mean, I think a solution I could do is just start wearing like belted pants, like jeans.
Okay,
That way
I think that would
I know to zip up.
That would help you
That would probably help.
Remember what's going on?
Yeah.
And he's sitting here bullshitting this cop like, yeah, I don't know if he even need to file a report or really, charge me of a crime or interrupt my studies or anything. I think honestly what I need to do is just get a belt. You know what I mean? Travis Scott was right. It really does hold up your pants well. And I think if I get a belt, the whole, wiener flopping out after I go to the bathroom because I forgot to put it away thing, that'll just go away. All right. It'll be a thing of the past.
Because, if I'm going to the bathroom, I have to undo my belt. That's a pretty obvious, at least to me.
Mm-hmm.
But no, if this is happening, then I truly am sorry to whoever was exposed to that.
There's not some other reason why you might be doing this on purpose or anything like that? Or, I mean, it's the reports we're getting, it seems to be a sort of a deliberate thing where it's not like you're walking around and accidentally happening. It's like,
No, sir, I'm
the reports we're getting is that you're flashing people. That's what my concern is. Is there something?
So
What does that matter?
I don't really have any desires.
Oh, and now he's got another reverse card. Actually, officer, I'm asexual, so therefore I would not take any gratification in anybody seeing that. To me, it's just another muscle on my body that I really don't pay attention to. Like, okay, Mr. Redditor mod that looks like fucking Lord Farquaad. What stupid lie do you have for us next?
I really am sorry if somebody has seen that.
Well, it's getting. I understand that if that's the concern that you're apologetic about it, and I appreciate that. But we're trying to figure out, it's a very unusual circumstance that we don't run into all that frequently.
If I can say something,
Sure.
This is not the first time that something like this has happened.
Okay.
Back in high school, about 4 years ago, there was a similar incident.
Okay.
It was slightly different. At that time, we still don't really know what happened. It was an out-of-body experience, but that's not what's happening this time.
Okay.
This time, it's simply a forgetful mind.
Oh my God. Now he goes on talking about some crazy spiritual out-of-body experience he had in high school where a similar thing like this happened, aka he's been a repeat offender. This guy has been steadily creeping on people and causing harm to his community and people nearby him since high school. This guy is just a rotten apple, dude. Lock him the fuck up and throw away the key. And the way he speaks about it's so funny. We still don't really know what happened. Like, dude, this isn't some documentary where you're talking about a team that's been going back and thumbing through this case. We know exactly what happened. You're the only one that doesn't want to admit it.
Okay.
I do understand that is an issue.
Okay. Have you ever been charged with anything for instances in the past, or?
I believe what happened was with that incident, because it was also pretty unusual, more of a supernatural sort.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you'll believe me or not when I say this, but we did a bunch of brain scans and whatnot, and nothing was abnormal. So
Okay.
Well, that's how I know you're lying, because even if they didn't catch the paranormal ghost that took over your brain, if you had a brain scan, definitely something would show up. There's something wrong with that brain of yours, kid. All right, let me tell you that for free.
So have you been charged with
it was not
public indecency in the past?
It was not charged.
Never had to go to court or anything like that?
No, we did not go to court. We got it all settled. I believe it was something along the lines of all charges will be dropped after X amount of years. If it's no.
This would have been when you were a juvenile?
Yes.
Okay.
So it sounds like this dude has been able to escape, facing charges against this, which has clearly been the thing that allows him to go on. And people might think, oh, this isn't that crazy, which if you have that take that this isn't that bad, first of all, that's psycho. But I know there's some people out there that are thinking it. And the main reason this is messed up beyond what he did is people like this, eventually that won't be enough. And he's going to keep progressing until it turns into something that is definitely, lock him away and throw away the key worthy. I already think this is, but to some of you out there that might not think it's, fully crazy, or maybe he really do believe his whole ADHD bullshit story, that's why they need to take this seriously and charge this guy.
Now I'm an adult and it's different, which sometimes I forget because, I'm still going to school, still living with mom.
Yeah, I can get that. So,
oh my God. And he tries to act so innocent here, like, oh, I forgot I'm actually technically even an adult. If you were to try me, I would actually go to adult prison because I still live with mom, and I still kind of have a curfew. So I feel like I'm still kind of a kid. Like, okay, dude, you can try to youthify yourself all you want, but yeah, you're an adult. So you're going to be hopefully taken off to real adult jail after this.
how's school going?
It's going all right. Doing really well in Japanese. I actually applied for a study abroad program.
Oh, cool.
So.
And you know what? Nothing even needs to be said here. That makes total sense that this absolute weirdo, this Lord Farquaad looking moron, would have this personality trait of feeling the, need to ruin people's lives like this and also want to go study abroad in Japan. Okay. I'm only just thinking of the absolute terror he would wreak over there. Do not let this guy into any other country, please. All right. We need to contain him now.
Okay. You think he like intentionally did that to like show you that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the way that like he was looking at me when I first sat down, I thought was like a little weird. He was just like kind of staring.
So did he like acknowledge like what was happening, or?
No, he didn't. He was just like, what? Like, I don't know what you're talking about, but not like it didn't seem genuine, I guess. It was just kind of like, what?
And I guess I'm not familiar exactly with the case, but I think something similar had happened with someone else and he was also involved with it.
Okay.
So this sounds like it might be a repeat thing.
Okay.
So I think and I don't know the exact circumstances of it, but it just sounds to me like they probably took a report similar to this of like, hey, this just happened, or maybe she called like an hour or something later. I don't know, but I guess they didn't find him that time. But they had pictures of him probably from security cameras.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, it's
yeah,
like
it's a lot to process at once. You don't expect stuff like that to happen.
Yeah.
It's a misdemeanor of the 4th degree. So that is actually a relatively low charge. I don't know exactly what the court would have him do with stuff, but it's not like he's going to like big boy prison for it,
Yeah. I think just because he has done it before, I should maybe like file a report or charge.
You want to go forward with charges? Okay.
So we go back to the obviously blurred for her own privacy interview of the woman who was sadly the victim in this case. And after she learns that this guy has been caught for similar things, that kind of cements in her brain that, this definitely wasn't an accident, because even if it was so, clearly a case of what it was, in her brain, she's trying to logically wrap her mind around why that would happen or why somebody would do that. And it's just easier to hope that, maybe you were wrong. I'm sure she's been sitting here gaslighting herself. But now you have proof that, this guy is definitely somebody who really enjoys this and for some reason keeps getting away with doing it because the law refuses to do anything with him. And after some talking with the officer, I will say he remains very neutral on the subject, which I guess is very good, not trying to sway this girl one way or another, but she's clearly having troubles even wanting to press charges against this guy because, again, nobody wants to deal with this further. That might mean that she has to face him in court one day, things like that. And also she's worried about, ruining this kid's life. She still has empathy toward him when he had no empathy toward her at all. She was just an object for his sick, twisted fantasies in his brain. And meanwhile, she's like really torn up about the idea of reporting this guy. So I feel terrible for this girl, and I really hope she's able to get some serious counseling after this run-in with this creep.
I don't really feel any breeze when I have my jacket and stuff on.
Okay.
So I feel like it feels like I'm covered. And then I go.
When did you last use the restroom?
What time is it right now?
It is 12:15.
Maybe 11. No, not 11. Like 11:30.
Okay.
So around that time period.
So it would have been possible for you to be sitting somewhere studying for over a half an hour with your pants down?
No. I will get up and walk around occasionally.
Okay, and a half an hour would not be unusual for you to be wandering around with your pants down and not notice it?
Not fully down is kind of the issue. Like I don't pull my pants down like here when I use the restroom. It's like, like where the V is kind of. Like, but only the
Okay.
Not anything else. So, I feel like it's covered and I sit down. If I feel cloth, to me, that's an indication that I'm covered.
Okay.
Yeah, so this guy's saying that for like 45 minutes he accidentally had his pants down, but his sweatshirt was there, so that's why it felt like he was covered. So you're telling me you sat your bare ass on a chair and didn't feel how cold it was and instantly jump up and be like, bro, what the hell? I'm not wearing my pants. His story just falls apart more and more this idiot speaks.
So that a half an hour would not be out of the norm for you to be exposed that long and not realize it when you're walking around with your sweatpants basically choking your penis while you're walking around. You see how it's not making a lot of sense?
I do.
But
I don't know why the officer needs to word it that way, but yeah, it really doesn't make any sense. I love when officers do this, when they repeat somebody's idiotic story back to them, just to show how truly dumb it is. Like, you're wanting me to believe this. Somebody who's, been training on how to detect liars and how to detect a fake story. You're wanting me to take in anything that you're saying and believe it. That's a big ask for me, all right?
Because it doesn't sound like it's an accidental thing.
I am more than happy to take responsibility and go to any sort of counseling that needs, but I do promise that it was an accident. I know it doesn't sound like it can, but I don't exactly have like the biggest, if I can say,
Okay.
like use that word. Like it doesn't really feel
Why?
like I'm being
Why would multiple? There's been 2 reports now, one a week ago and one today.
Dude, I guess I'll go to counseling. Like, I promise that's chill, but I'm just telling you, my pants accidentally fell, and I'm going to stick to that story. Like, all right, buddy, whatever you say.
I understand that it really doesn't make sense, and maybe, like, at least in my belief, it is accidental. It could be something buried deep down, and, you know, if this is something that's happening way back here, I'm more than happy to go to counseling to figure out what it is.
Okay.
I just don't want to, like, I don't want this to jeopardize me being here at Kent to learn, or jeopardize any sort of study abroad or anything like that.
Okay.
Oh, man, and he's talking about his studying abroad again. I really hope it interferes with that. In fact, I hope this interferes with pretty much every facet of your life, because I don't care if you thought about it or not, dude. You caused harm with your actions. And these are actions that he's done multiple times to different people for who knows how long. This is just the ones that have been reported. So yeah, I have no sympathy for this idiot.
We're not going to have any spot of video where you are on the 2nd floor or out in public pulling your pants down to expose yourself to someone,
I'm not pulling my pants down.
or pulling up a sweatshirt to expose yourself to someone. I'm trying to give you.
Ooh, okay. Actually, you know what, officer? Now that you mention it, that one might be tricky because, I do this ADHD stim where I kind of like helicopter my schmeat. It's more of just like a way to like stim, like I said. You know what I mean? It calms me down, but you might see that on camera with me lifting my sweatshirt. It's just something I do, and I forget that people are around. Oh, I get so caught up in my own world with this ADHD stuff, dude. Yeah, that might be the only thing that's kind of tough to disprove.
But if it did happen, yes, I will take the responsibility. Like when I do use the restroom, I typically do forget to pull up all the way, at least. Or
So that's the story we're sticking with.
it's not the full story.
What is the full story?
So that's the first part
Right.
of the story.
Dude, you're cutting me off. There's a whole trilogy here. I'm supposed to tell you the lie, and then I tell you the truth, and then I tell you the badass ending where I helicopter my schmeat into the air again, and I take off like a human helicopter, escaping all law enforcement.
I'm more than happy to accept any responsibility if those things occurred. I don't I don't remember pulling like my sweatshirt. Like,
Do you know which girl I'm referring to, or which girl it was that called us?
no idea. I don't typically remember the faces of people who I passed by.
Dude, it's tough. I really couldn't tell you because I kind of had my thing out at multiple different points today. Like I was going from hall to hall, just like I said, you know, lifting my sweatshirt, not realizing that I forgot to pull my pants up after the bathroom. And it could have been anybody that I walked by today, which was a lot.
You said you had some previous stuff when you were a juvenile?
Yeah, that was my junior year of high school.
Okay.
That was like an out-of-body experience that I experienced, in which I did not have control over my body. I witnessed myself from like a third-person point of view, walking over to my teacher and exposing myself, which is different from this.
Oh my God, dude. And now they talk about what happened in school, and it was a teacher that he did this to. He claims that he had an out-of-body experience and went third-person camera, like it's GTA 5, and just opened the trench coat and bared it all. That is insane, and I'm not trying to make light of this. I'm just trying to wrap my head around how this guy isn't behind bars already, even if he was a minor when doing that. Like, that is insane.
You're not going to jail, but we are going to have to do some paperwork. You are going to get arrested. We're going to take you up to the police station, fill out some paperwork. You'll be on your way at the end of the day. If you go to court and get found guilty, yes, this will be on your record forever.
Am I going to court?
Yes.
Okay.
You will have to get. That's the paperwork that we'll have to get squared away up at the station.
Do I have to go in cuffs or?
You do have to go. It is our policy. We have to take you in handcuffs, but we'll do it as discreetly as possible. We're not going to go parading you all over the place. Okay? Does that sound fair?
So finally, the news is broken to this idiot that he is going to get taken to the station in handcuffs and have to go to court for this. Honestly, I still think it's crazy he's not going fully behind bars because of this, but I guess that's what court's going to try to figure out, like what they can do with this guy. I think he needs much more than therapy right now, okay? Because clearly this dude is just skirting past the law enforcement, and he's going to keep escalating if they keep letting him continue to be a menace to society. So that's where the video closes out. They take him away in cuffs and the body cam footage ends. Let me know what you thought of this down in the comments below if you were equally cringing with me throughout this, as I really can't believe just how sad this guy's excuses were. I seriously hope that this girl is able to get some therapy, and let's hope this guy isn't able to be a menace to anybody else after this and gets the help he needs or gets locked away. Whatever allows him to stop. But as always, I'll catch you guys in an upcoming video. Thanks so much for watching to the end. Comment Grip Squad for life if you made it, and like and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, peace out.